y'all? Welcome back to the channel. Within cleaning season, I decided I wanted to do some mini series, and for this series, it's called Coffee Talk. And this week is titled Share the Load. So I'm reading a book called Sustainable Treasure Ministry, from last minute scrambling to long term solutions. And so far, what I read from the book has been mind blowing and eye opening. For me, going into leadership, I had that thought of, oh man, the knowledge I have, I can come up and work alongside, different ministries, different jobs, and everything would be all right, right? But that was until I read about Annette's experience. She assumed that the systems of the ministry were going to be in place. She assumed that like everything was gonna be there, but what she discovered is that the church was looking for her to develop and implement those systems. And when I was reading it, I was like, systems? Like, what is that? And she was having long days and long weeks. When she went to the new campus, from what she previously learned, she wanted to develop a solid structure. In leadership, whether that is a church or a business, there are systems and much more that's beneath the surface. Like you see, like, oh man, you have a third to fifth class, right? Or like a Wednesday service for the sixth to high school. But it's a lot of things that go under the surface with volunteers, with how you're managing your social media, with different like just event coordinators, that everything that has to go in like different systems, and like how you have to have a team, right, to make everything flow, like to make everything flow better. So you need that. You need the HR and so forth. When you view leadership roles in the church, they must be treated like any other job. Like, of course, we're talking about God, bringing about the gospel, but still we had to do everything in excellence. And with that, I have 3 points from Jethro's wise advice, and he is Moses' father-in-law. So, point number one, Moses had to develop a team. It is easy to get a call from God and try to jump into overdrive and to be a superhero, but God is not asking us to be a superhero. He knows our limitations, right? And is asking us to lead. With that leadership, He has a team for us, and we must cultivate that spirit of leadership within them, right? And show them that we trust them with whatever we ask them to do. Number two, you are going to burn yourself out. And I'm about to read from Exodus 18, verse 17 to 18. And it says, Moses' father-in-law replied, "What you are doing is not good. You and these people who come to you will only wear yourselves out. The work is too heavy for you. You cannot handle it alone." It's okay to take breaks and to step away. When you take breaks, it allows your team to, to breathe a little bit, to lead better. Right? Because like when you're so zoned in that you have those blinders on, you don't see what's on the outside, and it shows that you trust them, and that you have taught them well how to operate in your absence. Like when you take a break and you allow them to actually step into those leadership roles, it shows that they're more than capable, and that you are a great teacher. And your team needs breaks as well. Even if the team is not that big, it's okay to shut down the operation. We don't always need to do something, right? We don't always need to force something to be going every year. Like, even if this is our yearly operations of doing things, right, different activities, like it's okay to shut down, because the people in the community already know who we are because of our obedience to what God has instructed us to do in the past. And when we're ready to come back full power, we'll be more equipped with fresh ideas. And sometimes we need to break those traditions and have new ideas come in, because we don't always need the same activities. And it is better to shut down than to run uh, 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 than to run the car with no gas. And if you know anything about cars, and you have no gas, if you have no oil, you messing up your engine. You messing up all that. And hey, hey, for me, for my car, my old car, ooh, we had to do a lot of repairs. And I know it's like different things. Like I don't want to do without gas. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like transmission. Like I don't want any of those problems. So it's good to take breaks, because it's better to go to the mechanic early than to have a problem, later on. And number three, teach them and appoint leaders. This is probably like one of the most important points, especially with like a job. Like they won't know what they're supposed to do if you don't appoint them and put them in different positions, right? In verse 19 to 26 says, "Listen now to me, and I'll give you some advice. And may God be with you. You must be the people's representative before God and bring their disputes to him. Teach them his decrees and instructions, and show them the way they are to live and how they are to behave. But select capable men from all the people, men who fear God, trustworthy men who hate dishonest gain, and appoint them as officials over thousands, hundreds, fifties, and tens. Have them serve as judges for the people at all times, but have them bring every difficult case to you. The simple cases they can decide themselves. That will make your load lighter, because they will share it with you. If you do this, and God so commands, you will be able to stand the strain, and all these people will go home satisfied." Moses listened to his father-in-law and did everything he said. He chose capable men from all Israel and made them leaders of the people, officials over thousands, hundreds, fifties, and tens. They served as judges for the people at all times. The difficult cases they brought to Moses, but the simple ones they decided themselves. So you have to educate them. You have to educate the few of the roles. Not everybody is suited to be that type of leader. And you as a leader, you are in a position, and it's your responsibility to bring out those gifts in them, and to see like, hey, like I can see you doing this, I can see you doing that. Or even if somebody's not in those roles right now, you can say like, hey, like you can work on this, and then later on you'll be able to be like a teacher, be a preacher, like X, Y, and Z. Like you're building them for the future. And after they know their roles, they know how to execute them. Because if they don't have the sheet, like if you're at a job and you don't have what's supposed to be like your responsibilities, you won't know how to do anything. And through appointing these leaders, you're giving room for God to promote you to more, and you're putting your team in the position for them to be promoted as well. At the end of the day, when the load is shared, you create more time for yourself, your family and friends, and most importantly, you create more time for your one-on-one relationship with God. And self-care is very important, especially when it comes to leading those around us. So I hope this message encourage you and bless you, and I will see you next week on Friday at 7 o'clock for another coffee talk. I love y'all, and I can't wait to see you again. Peace.